my name's Margaret. I'm from the Miles Morgan Travel branch in the city of Wells in little old Somerset. Behind me is the boss in spirit, if not in person. He's currently skiing down the slopes in Andorra, or possibly drinking beer. I'd just like to introduce the two gentlemen you see on your screen, Kevin and Stefano from Citalia. I've worked in travel quite a long time, and I've known that Citalia has been around for a very long time. But when I researched exactly how long, 90 years, gentlemen, you've been going. That is some amazing feat. You're synonymous with everything Italian. And literally, when you think of Italy, you think of Citalia, or Citalia if you're English. I'm standing in for Miles today just to do the introduction, and we'll take some questions towards the end. If you have to go, you could pop your question into the chat, and we'll see if we can answer as we go along. I also just wanted to introduce our magazine called Travel Talk. You may well have received these through the post in the last sort of 3 to 4 weeks. There's somebody nodding, that's great. We see Citalia is featured on page 12 and 13 with some fantastic lead-in offers there. I will, if anybody hasn't got one of those, you can just contact me and we can get them sent to you, because there's lots of things to look at in there. I'm not going to steal the limelight from the gentlemen, because they've got lots to tell you about holidays to Italy with Citalia. So I'm going to hand over to Kevin first, I believe, and your presentation. It'll last up to about 40 minutes, I think you said. So over to you.
Excellent. So just to confirm, sorry, Margaret, you can see my screen. It says Kevin and Stefano. Super. So yeah, that's a lovely introduction. Thank you very much, Margaret, for that. And thank you to everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. The sun's shining and restrictions are dropping and everyone's thinking about getting away. And we've certainly seen this week, we were just talking before you joined, that we've just seen this week that holidays to Italy have gone through the roof in the last sort of, several days. So people are really starting to plan ahead now. And as you'll know, availability, pricing, everything's sort of, changing very quickly. And we're seeing that a lot of customers are now booking them holidays to Italy. And, everything that we've all been dreaming of for the last couple of years. So there's been some introductions there. I won't go over it again. You can see myself and Stefano there. And we are going to take you through everything Citalia. So what we'd like to talk you through today, and we do appreciate you joining us, and there will be more people coming on as we go along. But I guess the key message for us is that this is a huge partnership, and Margaret's already set it up there very nicely in the introduction. We work very closely with Miles Morgan Travel, which is your selected travel agent partners. They are, one of the biggest agencies within the UK with a fantastic reputation. I know that you're seeing them on telly and hearing them on the radio, and you're reading about them in the Travel Talk magazines. And a lot of people will say, why don't we just come to you direct to book? Well, it makes no sense at all, because once we get the same pricing, so you're not going to win any differently. If you go to these guys directly, they will absolutely talk you through all of the, procedures, the everything you need to know about the paperwork, any tests that might come and go as we go through the next couple of years. So it's absolutely worth using your local travel agent, because that's what they're there for. And they have the absolute knowledge to talk you through these destinations. They obviously work very closely with ourselves, and we put together some amazing itineraries between us to make these holidays, really come to life for yourselves. So this morning, myself and Stefano, we are going to talk you through the key points on the screen there. The topic is everything Italy, which is great because we can talk about some of the fantastic areas that we do cover within our product range at Citalia. One thing that we've just recently released from our side is the brand new Citalia brochure. You might not see it too well with the background. There you go. But this is the brand new brochure. There we go. Margaret's covering it as well for 2022. So we are in a fantastic position to be able to offer you a brand new brochure for this year, which many of the other suppliers haven't had the opportunity to do. So if you want to get your hands on a brochure, literally pop into your closest Miles Morgan travel store and they'll be able to give you the brand new brochure for this year. It covers lots of key information, lots of detail about the destinations, the products, the excursions, the tours, everything that we offer. As well as that, obviously you can also use the different websites that we have as well. But like I say, all the information, all the prices are exactly the same as you get through your travel store. So you'll also see on the screen there that we are platinum FIFO award. Currently, we've been for quite a while now. So all of our brands are the highest level of customer service that FIFO does offer. So it's great to know that you're traveling with an exceptional 2 brands. So why Citalia? You know, why choose us? Margaret's already alluded to the fact that we are over 90 years old. Stefano will probably give me a nod. I think it's 93 years this year, I believe, 93 years. So we have been around for a long time, which means that we are very good at what we do. The company was set up all them years ago to take Italian people back to Italy for their holidays. So that's how we were created. And then over the past 93 years, we've evolved into this huge tour operator offering everything Italy. So we have got the knowledge, we've got the expertise. The majority of our team are from Italy, so they know the destination inside out. We send all of our colleagues, our staff, over to Italy as much as we can to update their knowledge on the fantastic destinations. We offer private transfers on all of our holidays. We offer flexibility, choice, and different itineraries. So don't think that we are a company that will just take you to Rome for 2 nights or to Sorrento for 7 nights. We want you to really maximize Italy during your stay. So we would encourage you to think about 2 or 3 different destinations. Think about hiring a car, jumping on the train, jump on a boat. Do experience as much as you can within Italy. It is a very diverse destination. You can travel all year round and you can experience different parts of Italy in different seasons during the year. So know that it is a destination that you can travel to all year round. We only work with hotels that we have visited firsthand and we have criteria checked, and they are the best properties in them locations. So we don't contract and work with hundreds of hotels. We only select certain hotels that work really well with our client database and the criteria that we do set. And of course, we are 7-time British Travel Award winners as well. So as well as being Platinum Award for FIFO, we do win awards every single year with the British Travel Awards. And then a very key point that I want to cover today is in the brochures. It's also within our website as well, but we have got a fantastic promise in place, which is our Book with Confidence guarantee. So this is just a real big guarantee for yourselves to know that if you are booking a holiday today to travel to Italy this year or maybe next year, we have got this particular promise in place, which will absolutely guarantee you a refund. We can cancel the holiday, we can amend the holiday. If there's any part of that holiday that is affected by COVID, God forbid not, but we have got this promise in place that will ensure that we can absolutely help you. We can change holidays, we can cancel holidays, and you've got the peace of mind to know that that money going down today for that holiday will be absolutely protected as well. So there's a huge promise there to know that we will absolutely help you if required. Hopefully not. Okay, now I'm going to pass on to my exceptional colleague, Stefano, who's going to take you through everything Italy.
Thank you, Kevin. Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to attend this webinar. I'm going to give you an overview of what Citalia can offer and how we can help you choose the perfect Italian holiday. And as Kevin mentioned, after all, we have been helping our customer do just that for over 90 years. And that's why we think we are the leading Italian specialists. So where do you start? Maybe you have never been to Italy before, or maybe you have and would like to experience other aspects of the country. So let me start with the cities. Right. Kev, next slide, please. Okay. I might be biased, but I think Italian, unsurprisingly, but I think Italian cities are among the most beautiful in the world. You know, they have a fascinating history with ancient monuments, a unique mix of old and new, amazing food, and some of the best shopping you can find anywhere. You could do a simple city break to one of the main Italian cities, maybe 4 days in Rome, and there is a lot to see there: the Colosseum, Vatican City, Trevi Fountain, Piazza Navona, and lots more. Or Florence to visit the Uffizi Gallery or the Duomo. Probably need a little less in Florence unless you combine it with Pisa. Or a romantic trip to Venice to admire St. Mark Basilica, wander along the canals and take a gondola trip, or even go to the islands in Murano or Porcello. There are also some other interesting cities that perhaps are visited on a second trip to Italy, such as Milan, center of fashion, Bologna, food capital of Italy. Food is absolutely great there. Turin, somewhat understated, but there is some interesting Baroque architecture. Or Verona, which is one of my favorites, very compact, easy to navigate. And in Verona, if you like opera, going to the open air arena during the summer festival is a real must. It's truly stunning, and I would highly recommend it, even if you don't like opera. So just to give you a taste of what we can offer in terms of accommodation, there are a selection of hotels I would like to highlight. One is the Forum Hotel in Rome, which is housed in what used to be a monastery in the 18th century. The location is quite spectacular. It sits right in the heart of ancient Rome, with some amazing views over the Roman Forum. There is also a rooftop restaurant, again, with some fantastic views over Piazza Venezia, and the Colosseum is only 5 minutes walk away. In Florence, we have the Brunelleschi, very much a favorite with our customers. It's a boutique hotel with a rather original and ornate features. It's built around a 6th century tower, and the location is absolutely superb. Just a few steps away from the cathedral and all the historic and shopping areas. A major plus there at the Brunelleschi is also the 2-star Michelin restaurant, Santa Elisabetta, ideal for a romantic dinner. And that's where I'm going to be staying, luckily, on my first contracting trip to Italy in 3 weeks' time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And in Venice, the Savoia Yolanda, another lovely boutique hotel in excellent location, just 200 meters from St. Mark's Square. Some great views over the Venice Laguna, and it's surrounded by lots of bars, restaurants, and shops. Some of the rooms have a small balcony where you could sit and watch the goings on with a glass of wine in the afternoon, or a cup of coffee in the morning. So if you're thinking of a city break, our experts, together with our trusted agent partner, can help you discover some wonderful hidden gems and add to your trip some unforgettable experiences. And that could be a cooking lesson, a private tour of the Vatican, a guided tour of the Boboli Gardens in Florence, or a visit to a glassmaking factory in Venice. It can be a shared experience or a fully private, tailor-made itinerary to suit your requirements. There are really so many to choose from. Moving on to the coasts and islands of Italy, choosing where to go is even more difficult. The Amalfi Coast, which has to be Italy's most memorable destination and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's quite breathtaking. 50 kilometers of rugged mountains and sheer cliffs, with some pretty villages, beautiful gardens, grand villas, and some famous towns such as Amalfi, Positano, and of course some delicious limoncello. If you're thinking of driving from Positano to Amalfi, the views are simply stunning, but say it's not fit for the faint-hearted. Sorrento is probably the best known resort in the area, and it's an excellent base. From here, you can take a boat trip to Capri, Ischia, or Procida, which is a tiny little island, but very pretty. And it is Italy's capital of culture 2022. Or explore the ancient ruins of Pompeii and Herculaneum, which are quite fascinating. You may have also heard of Cilento, which was featured in one episode of Gino D'Acampo's recent series on ITV. This is somewhat of an underrated area located in one of the more remote parts of the Campania region, just south of the Amalfi Coast. It's somewhat unpretentious, but it's got a lot going for it. There is little mass tourism, and you'll find nice beaches with clean water. And because this is where buffaloes roam happily, you'll come across probably the finest mozzarella you'll ever taste. Yum, yum. Going south, Sicily and the Aeolian Islands. Sicily is an amazing region. It's unique. And it's a place that will give you the chance to experience a fascinating mix of cultures and its own culture and cuisine. You'll find vestiges of Greek temples, Roman architecture, some beautiful towns such as Taormina or Cefalù. The Aeolian Islands, which are located about an hour by boat off the northern coast of Sicily. This is an archipelago of 7 islands, including the most active volcano in Europe. It's a unique destination with a beautiful scenery and a slower relaxed pace of life. Great for couples wanting a romantic break. It's perfect for honeymoon. Staying in the south, Puglia, located in the southeast of the country. It's one of the most beautiful and captivating regions with lots of history, and everyone from Greeks, Romans, Normans has left their mark on this region. In Puglia, you can find a stunning countryside with endless olive trees, sandy beaches, historic cities, and deliciously locally grown produce, for which Puglia is famous for. It's perfect for those wanting to explore by car. I'd say the roads are mostly quiet and scenic. I will take you to some pretty villages such as Alberobello, Cisternino, Polignano, or the regional capital of Lecce, which is absolutely beautiful. And if you are in Puglia, you can take a day trip or perhaps stay a few nights to Matera, the city of stones, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site whose history goes back thousands of years. Matera is located in the neighboring region of Basilicata, and it's known for its cave dwellings that today house shops, cafes, and hotels. And of course, for that spectacular car chase in the opening scene of the latest Bond movie, if you have seen it. If you are thinking instead of a beach holiday, Sardinia is ideal. It's a Mediterranean island paradise, very much famous for its glamorous Costa Smeralda. There are over 2,000 kilometers of coastline and some gorgeous sandy beaches that rival those in the Caribbean. Then there is Liguria, also known as the Italian Riviera. On the border with France, it's one of Italy's smallest regions. You'll find here some stylish towns such as Portofino, Rapallo, and the Cinque Terre National Park, which is one of Italy's most scenic spots. These are 5 little towns perched precariously on the hills, tumbling down to the sea. They're really, really an amazing sight to see. They can be visited by boat or train, but I would recommend by boat. And I'd say Liguria is more suited to couples. South of Liguria, Tuscany coast, also called Versilia by the locals. This is the area right along the Tuscan coast, about, I'd say probably 18 miles west of Florence. It's widely known and popular for fashionable resorts such as Viareggio and Forte dei Marmi. Here you can find miles and miles of beautiful sandy beaches surrounded by pine forest, pretty fishing harbors, and there are lots of bars and restaurants to suit all tastes. If you like something a little different, Calabria is there to be discovered. This is a new entry in our program. It's the region across the water from Sicily. It may not be the first place in Italy you would visit, but it is ideal for those that want to explore something different and off the beaten track. You can find some amazing beaches, mountains, and 3 national parks, which are ideal for trekking, as well as some beautiful towns to explore, such as Tropea, which is perched on top of a cliff with some fantastic sea views, and lots of bars and restaurants that serve great seafood. And to whet your appetite, we have a couple of hotels we would like to highlight. The Grand Royal Viareggio. The Grand Royal is unique and an iconic Art Nouveau building in Viareggio. It's very old and worldly. In the early 20th century, it used to be the favorite haunt of royalty, artists, and celebrity. A very convenient location, the beach is across the road, and the hotel has the benefit of having a lovely garden and a pool, which is the backdrop for an amazing dinner setting where live music is played 3 times a week. This is very much a favorite with our customers. We've been working with this property for over, I think, 35 years. Or the Villa Belvedere, again, very popular hotels with Citalia guests. It's a charming boutique property located just a few minutes from the town center of Taormina and the Greek Roman theater. It's privately owned and managed, and it feels like entering a private residence with its discreet elegance. All rooms are elegantly furnished and decorated with warm, soft colors. The views from its pretty garden are spectacular. You can see on one side Mount Etna and below the Bay of Naxos. This hotel is rather small. It's only got 49 rooms. It's very much in demand, and we always recommend to book early. If instead you're thinking of a holiday in the countryside, I think it's fair to say that much of Italy's true charm can be found in its wonderful countryside. Tuscany and Umbria are probably the obvious choice, and they sit next to each other in the center of Italy. So it's quite easy to visit both regions in the same countryside holiday. There are countless medieval towns and villages ready to be explored and a broad range of activities. Or you could opt for a villa holiday and just relax. And if you want to include a trip to the seaside, Tuscany has some beautiful beaches along its coast. You could also combine a countryside and beach holiday in Puglia. There is some lovely countryside there with quirky villages and lots of masserias. Masserias are sort of limestone buildings that used to be farmhouses and have now converted into hotels. For those that want to explore the northwest of Italy, the Piedmont countryside would be also an excellent choice. It's a region dotted with the medieval towns and endless vineyards that produce some of the best wine in Italy. And the hotel's Citalia features do offer cellar tours as well as Michelin-starred cuisine. The best way really to experience the towns and villages of rural Italy is to hire a car. And of course, our experts can arrange it for you. We also feature a selection of villas and apartments, as well as farmhouses, which are called agriturismo. These are typically independently owned farmhouses that the owners have decided to use partially for accommodation purposes. So they still live there with the guests. They're full of character, and owners often like to mingle with guests, but without being intrusive. So you might see them around, tending to the garden or cleaning the pool, and they can arrange additional services if required. It could be a special candlelit dinner, or maybe a birthday celebration, or just some advice about the local area. Some of the luxury villas can even organize private chef and butler, or just assistants to organize your trip in the region where you're staying. Most of the villas and apartments are self-catering with well-equipped kitchenettes, and all of them offer access to a swimming pool, private in the case of villas. and share for apartments. And some of the more high-end villas have jacuzzis as well. Villas usually range from 2 to 6 bedrooms, and the majority are set in Tuscany, which has some really stunning spoiled countryside, and it's very popular for self-catering holiday. But we also feature other beautiful destinations such as Umbria, the Amalfi Coast, Sicily, and Puglia. For villas in particular, which in some cases can be a little isolated, we definitely recommend car hire. And again, this can be arranged for you. Moving on to the lakes. As you probably know, there are 3 main lakes in Italy, Garda, Maggiore, Como, and each has a distinct character, which makes it difficult to decide which of the Italian lakes you should visit. Garda is the largest, and it stretches from the countryside in the south to the Dolomites in the north. And the contrast is actually quite dramatic. You go from flat land in the south to high mountain peaks in the north. It's perfect for sightseeing with some charming villages dotted around the lake. And what's peculiar about Garda is that there is a sort of microclimate, if you like, which means that, you know, even at the height of summer, it never gets very hot. I'd say the Garda is ideal for couples as well as families. Lake Como, I suppose, is the most glamorous, and it's filled with lots of chic lakeside cafes, grand villas, including one owned by Mr. and Mrs. Clooney, and a number of luxury hotels. There are some elegant boutiques in Viareggio, in the center of the lake, and interesting gardens to visit, as well as other pretty towns around the lake. It's quite a romantic setting, and I would say ideal for couples. From Lake Como, you can also take a train journey on the Bernina Express across to Switzerland and enjoy some breathtaking scenery. I have done this several times, and I would highly recommend it. Lake Maggiore has a more relaxed atmosphere. The pace of life in Maggiore feels a little bit more gentle, and the old quarter in the main town, Stresa, sort of transports you back to a glamorous bygone age. Not to be missed in Maggiore are the stunning Borromean Islands in the middle of the lake, where you'll find magnificent Belle Epoque villa and gardens. Citalia also feature Lake Horta and Lake Iseo, not as well known as the other 3 bigger Italian lakes, perhaps, but they're quite charming and definitely less crowded. Something to consider if you like a lake holiday, but a bit more peaceful. Lake Iseo is also a great wine producing area, so lots of wineries and vineyards to explore, if you like, that sort of thing. Coming on to multi-centers. Italy has so much to offer, and it's often difficult to know where to start. So really, there is no need to pick just a single destination. With a multi-center holiday, you can explore other areas of the country, and you'll be able to see the different character which shifts across each region. The reason for this, as you may know, is that Italy really was not a unified country until 1861, if I recall. Before that, it was fragmented into several kingdoms, duchy, and city-states, often at war with each other, and each with their own government, language, and money. So that's why you see such big variations when you travel across Italy. And our collection of itinerary has something to please all types of holidays. You can combine a rustic retreat with a city break, or perhaps a few days in a beach resort. Rail, Italy by rail. Next slide, Kev. Yes, trains are very important parts of our program, and traveling by Italy traveling in Italy by train is incredibly beautiful, and really there is no better way if you have more than one destination in mind. It's a high-speed rail network that links the major cities from Naples in the south to the north, with trains that can travel over 200 miles an hour, while smaller towns are reached by slower regional trains, which offer some of the most picturesque journey. So really, it's a very relaxing and scenic way to get around the country and see its many sites. The service, I'd say, is quite good, particularly in the first class on the Frecciarossa train, which translates as Red Arrow. It's a state-of-the-art train that can reach 220 miles per hour. If you don't like flying or hate the hassle of airports, you can even travel to Italy on the train from the UK. You can do that by taking the Eurostar to Paris, then on to Turin, which takes about 6 hours, or Milan, 7 hours, with one of the new high-speed services from Paris provided by Trenitalia. They've actually been introduced a month or so ago. They're really, really popular. We have a team of train specialists that will help you to explore all the options that tailor-make your perfect holiday, depending on your final destination in Italy. And whether you prefer to travel overnight, break your journey in an intermediate city, that could be Paris or Geneva or Zurich, or arrive in one day, which is just about possible for some Italian cities. Some of the most popular train itineraries are Rome, Florence, Venice. These are the cultural highlights. Venice, Verona, Le Garda, Rome, Sorrento, and then down to Sicily. So you get to Reggio Calabria, which is the most southern city in the Italian peninsula. The train actually gets on the ferry. You don't get off until it crosses the Strait of Messina, where you are in Sicily. So if you are considering a trip to Italy, it's definitely worth using the train if you want to visit more than one destination. And if you want to do things in grand style, why not journey to Italy on the Venice Simplon Orient Express? It's an unforgettable trip through Europe's countryside before arriving in Stalin, Venice, or Verona. You'll travel in private cabins, all beautiful, restored to their former glory. This year, they've actually introduced a handful of departures from Rome and Florence. But generally, Orient Express sells out quickly, so booking early is recommended. It's a truly unique experience, complemented by impeccable personal service. It's one of those things that you do once in a lifetime, or even more, but it's a fantastic experience. We're coming to some hidden gems. We have a unique selection of charming and stylish boutique hotels across Italy that offer truly special accommodation. I'd say accommodation with a soul. A couple of hotels to highlight here. We go Aquatio. Next slide, Kev. Is the Aquatio Cave Luxury Hotel and Spa, which is located in the heart of Matera, and it only opened last year. It's beautiful design, truly unique hotel with rooms and a luxury spa, which includes a swimming pool, carved out of rock, believe it or not. It's carved out of rock. It's a brilliant mix of modern technology and ancient materials. Staying at this hotel is a really unique and magical experience. It's the sort of thing that only in a place like Matera you can find. The Monastero Santa Rosa. This has to be one of the most beautiful hotels in Europe, if not the world. It's a secluded and beautifully renovated 17th century monastery perched on the edge of a cliff in the Amalfi coast between Positano and Amalfi town. It's adults only, so perfect for couples. There are just 20 rooms, all individually designed, an amazing spa, very pretty gardens, and of course some spectacular views over the Bay of Salerno. Last but not least, escorted tours, an important part of our program. And all of our Italy tours are exclusive to Citalia and have a maximum of just 18 people per tour. So it's a more comfortable experience, and nothing like, those, big coach tours with 50 passengers, crowded, and quite uncomfortable. The escorted tours offer a unique opportunity to discover Italy like never before. We have a team of expert local guides with lots of knowledge, and you'll be able to experience the real Italy. During the tours, there will be various activities. You'll learn how to make pasta and olive tasting in Puglia, cooking demonstrations in Amalfi, try fine local wines in traditional winery in Sicily, and along the way see some of the most famous landmarks such as Mount Etna, Capri, Pompeii, and many more. And in terms of a choice, choosing the right escorted tour for you, you could pick from Authentic Puglia, which will take you to this relatively unexplored corner of Italy that has lots of culture, history, and authentic cuisine. You'll get to see the best parts of Puglia. You'll be based in the white city of Ostuni and enjoy guided tours of Matera in Basilicata, Alberobello, Lecce, and Bari, and visit the caves of Castellana Grottos, which are quite stunning. These are some of the most amazing set of underground caves in Europe. Or perhaps, if you want to explore Sicily, there is Treasures of Sicily, where you'll be staying in Taormina and Cefalù, and have a chance to see the majestic Mount Etna, one of the largest active volcanoes in Europe, as well as exploring Syracuse, the temples of Agrigento dating back to ancient Greece, and taking the beautiful Baroque architecture around the Noto and Modica area in the south of Sicily. And to get a feel of the real street culture, we'll take you to Sicily's largest market in Palermo. It's called Ballarò, and you can try local delicacies and street food. We also have two different tours, which with the distinct itineraries, which showcase the best of the Campania region. It will give you the opportunity to explore the Amalfi Coast, Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii, Capri, Naples, Ravello, Positano, lots more. One is called the Sorrento and the Bay of Naples, and the other one is the Jewels of Southern Italy. With that, I hand you back to Kevin. Thanks so much for your interest and attention. Over to you, Kev.
Thank you, Stefano. That was absolutely brilliant, and really kind of hopefully told some stories in your head and kind of brought to life some amazing opportunities of what we can all discover in Italy. So just before I pass you back over to Margaret for some questions that you may have, you can happily ask myself and Stefano. I just want to really enforce the message about we have got £100 off at the moment, off bookings until the end of this month. It's been a message that we've had in place now for a couple of months, and that only runs for a short time. So if you want to take use of that little bit of discount, then make sure you pop into your closest Miles Morgan travel store as soon as possible. And as mentioned at the start, do get your hands on the brand new brochure as well, the Citalia 2022 brochure. So I'm now going to pass back to Margaret just to conclude with some Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was really interesting. And it's lovely to hear Italian accent talking about Italy. So thank you very much for that, Stefano. I'm not sure if there's any questions in the chat. No, but if there's anything that I can help you with, if I don't know the answer, I'll always find out for you and contact you. But I think we had a lovely overview of what Citalia can offer. And one of my favorite things was the Orient Express. Yes, it's definitely a wish list, bucket list, whatever you want to call it. And we've got a lot of customers that are looking after the last 2 years. That's what they want to do. They're ticking off their bucket list and their wish list, and perhaps being a bit extravagant, but really realizing those dreams that they've had in the background. So if there's anybody that would like any information about the Orient Express, I can help you with that. My love of Italy stems really from all the fantastic archaeological finds, because if I hadn't gone into travel, I'd have been an archaeologist, I hope. So if there's anybody got any questions, if you want to unmute and let me know, or you can pop it down in the chat, or perhaps you don't have any questions. Don't feel obliged if you haven't. I'd just like to say thank you for attending today, and on behalf of Miles, he loves to do these Zooms, but I'm just an understudy for the moment. So I hope you have found something that piques your interest. There's certainly a lot to offer with the Citalia program and with Italy in general, and it's definitely one of my favorite destinations. I haven't been everywhere, haven't been to Sardinia, boys, I'll just let you know that. I've been most other places. It is truly a wonderful destination, from the people to the food to the history to the architecture and just the way of life as well. So it's that little bit special. Well, we'll conclude. If there's nobody want to ask me any questions, you must have done a terrific job, right?
Feel free if anyone's got any questions. Or I mean, just to conclude as well, another point is your travel agent will advise on this, but we do work with all of the scheduled airlines, the low-cost airlines. Stefano's already covered the fact that you don't have to fly. We can get you there on a train if you want to enjoy a little bit more and go through France. But, we offer everything from 1 day to 28 days. You can make it as flexible as possible throughout the year. So just worth bearing that in mind. But yeah, please, if you've got any questions, we'll hang on for a couple of minutes.
I've actually got a question for the audience that's still online with us. Going forward, a bit cheeky really, what destinations or tour operators as our audience would you like to see? For example, yesterday somebody asked me if we were going to do a Zoom presentation on Sri Lanka. So I thought this is an ideal opportunity to ask you as our audience. And I've just spotted a question in the chat, boys, so hang on a second. Thanks, looking forward to following up. All right, thank you, Janet, Thomas, and everyone.
Thank you, Janet. So
if anybody's got any requests for other destinations or other operators or other products, you could just let us know, pop it down in the chat, or just hold up a sign if you like. Nobody so far, gents.
Everyone's running to the stores, Margaret, to get the brochures.
Yeah. But don't run out of brochures.
Get that Amalfi Coast holiday booked. There we go.
Oh, well, listen, thank you so much for attending, everyone. It really makes a difference to our days, and it's good to make contact with our customers as well as our operators, and to facilitate that is a real honour. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.